We're live. Hello. Hi there. I'm Amanda Call, and today I'm going to be working on this comic page that we started last week. This is a page from I Am the First, which is written by my friend Jeremy Flagg and drawn by me. This is a page from chapter 2. It is page 10. Last week we started with just panel borders and perspective grids, and we got everything roughed in, and I got most of the first panel finished penciled. Finished penciling. I got most of the way through penciling the first panel. That's a better way to construct that sentence. So I'm going to finish up that first panel, and I'm going to see how far I can get on the rest of the pencils this evening before we move on next week to inks, hopefully. So I have my thumbnail just out of frame here that I'm using as a guide for this page. Hey, Alia, thank you for joining me. I've got my script over here as well so that I can make sure I remember what is supposed to be happening in some of these panels, draw appropriate faces and things. So we are going to get in there and try to finish up this first panel. I think I need to sharpen this just a little bit. It's a little bit dull for a tiny, tiny figure like that, because that is a itty bitty figure. I have to finish up right in there. Hey, Hungry, thanks for joining me. Sharpen that just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'll start adding some details to this figure. It's just kind of a very basic mannequin right now. So I've got my eraser pencil as well. And since it's so tiny and the comic page as I am drawing it is even bigger than it's going to appear when it's reproduced, then I'm not going to go too crazy with trying to get every little detail in there. I just want to make sure it looks like a person. Hello, Story Comic, also known as Barney. Not much. I was just recapping what we did last week. That's all you missed. Now I'm starting to get some pencils down this week. Alex in his gym clothes, which is a hoodie and some loose shorts. Which, oh man, I have a reprieve from doing flannel. I am ridiculously excited about that. This is like the one reprieve I'm gonna get for like pretty much the whole comic. I think there's one other scene in the entire graphic novel where he's not wearing his flannel shirt. This is it. Gotta savor it. Try to keep with that perspective grid there, getting the line of the floor. He's coming up the stairs. Got the edge of the bleachers here that this figure is mostly blocking. But we'll get the little edge of them in anyway. Railing. Got this. Railing leading down to where the boys' locker rooms are. We're gonna do a couple more of these little like sport pennant things up here. This is a thing in a lot of high schools. I know in our high school and a lot of other high schools I've ever visited, it's a thing to like have the little, state championship or whatever pennants up on the walls, banners from different sports achievements. In different years. Oh, that's a cute little emoji. It's a cute emoji, Leah. I don't think I've seen that one actually previously. Okay, we're gonna call that panel pretty well done. We're gonna move on to the next. We've got the back of Alec's head here. He's holding his backpack like on one shoulder, so we want the edge of that over here. Up some of that underdrawing. Alright, here's the little handle on the top of the backpack. Zipper. Edge of his hood. And his neck. Alright. There's that. Hey, Potato. Thanks for joining me. Alright, now we've got these guys. These are the bullies from the first chapter. They're a recurrent problem for Alec. So right now they're just skeletons. We've got to give them a little bit more substance. I'm going to reference some of my other pages that I already have scanned and saved on my computer over here to make sure that I'm drawing them consistently. I think this one he's wearing like a sleeveless shirt. Yeah, he's wearing like a sleeveless shirt. And like a V-neck. That's pretty loose. Alright, what is he saying here? I want to make sure his face makes sense. Okay, that's him more or less. Just the weaselly looking one in the back over here. Oop. Glare from my light is making that kind of hard to see. There we go. Alright, what is he wearing? I forget. He's wearing like a tank top. And he just looks like a little creep. Yeah, so tonight we're going to get as far as we can on the pencils, and if I don't quite finish them, then I will probably finish them off stream so that I can send this page to Jeremy for approval before we start inking. But I imagine we'll get pretty close to finishing today. Oh, this little creep. What a creep. This kid with his very blocky face. And he's large. You're good. You can stay on all night. I don't think I'm going to stay on all night and finish it. No, the streams are usually just about an hour long, because then after like an hour, it's like I need to get up and go stretch and get a glass of water, and you should do the same. All right, this kid's wearing t-shirt. Where are your legs, sir? There's a leg. Okay, so now we've got these guys roughed in. Oh, those are all sorts of fun little emojis, Ilya. Like everything stationary. related. All right, those guys are roughed in. I'll sharpen this a little bit again and start firming up their details. Get that picture of their reference up to look at. Make sure their face is right. Pull that down so you guys can see it a little bit better. We're going to kind of clean up the underdrawing as I go, so it's not too much of a scribbly mess. There we go. Hey, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Appreciate having you here hanging out, too. Making some progress on this page. These I am the first pages always go a lot slower than Age of Night pages. That's just making things more realistic is just kind of inherently more work than drawing fantasy stuff. Partially because I'm more used to doing fantasy than like realistic stuff, but also because I can't just make it look like whatever I want to. It's gotta look realistic. You can't really hand wave stuff as much. Even though he's in gym class, he still has his little like bracelet things. His little bangles there. I don't know if that's a thing that anybody still wears, but I might be dating myself slightly there. I did actually like look up a fair amount of like what do teenagers wear these days, but you know, certain amount of like think sometimes it's really easy to just accidentally default to whatever our understanding of fashion was when we were that age, which it's not necessarily a good idea. My mic is sounding fuzzy. Well, what's up with that? Why do I sound fuzzy? Is that better? I don't know. I just messed with my cord. Let me know if that sounds better or if it's still being foolish. This mic is approximately 1 million years old, so it might just be getting ready to crap out on me. It's within the realm of possibility. That's true. It is not affecting my drawing. That is good. I'm going to have to run some tests with this microphone later. Setting up. I mean, maybe. I don't know. He got stripes on the sides of his shorts. Stripes. Alright. I'm just going to draw this guy, and then this panel will also be complete. To sharpen my pencil again. It's like I gotta extend it out just the tiniest bit in order to be able to sharpen it. And like I don't want to extend it out too much and lose a bunch of pigment. I don't want to not extend it out far enough at all to even sharpen. Very delicate. Kind of like a buzz cut situation going on. Ooh, what's happening with your eye there, sir? What is that? What is that? It's supposed to be a sneer. He's looking more sad than sneering. Lumpy faced kid right there. Lurking. I appreciate it. Thanks for the lurk, Higgins. Side of his face is very squashy there to commit to some of these lines. Clean some of this situation up. I think I made his face better. He doesn't quite look so sad. Now he actually looks disgusted again like he's supposed to. That's an improvement. It's like, you're not supposed to look sad. You're the bully. You're saying something mean and absolutely awful in this panel. He is saying something truly awful in this panel. Just like so many of the things that happen in this book, because it portrays like pretty realistic depictions of like, some of the crap that teenagers have to go through. It's just like, oh, it's painful to read. All right, we're just gonna throw in like a bare suggestion of a background back here. I'm not going to worry too much about any kind of perspective or anything. It is just so that these guys are not floating in a void. That is a very uneven doorway. Let's actually, you know what? I think the positioning of the doorway is fine. I just need to move the dividing line over. Basically, just so there can be like a couple of lines and some blocks of color indicating that there is a background here, but it is not important to this panel, so I'm not gonna like really sweat getting everything right perfectly. Little lines between my panels are still there. I'm gonna just erase those because they're annoying me. There. Okay. Yay! So now we have 2 whole panels completed, and we're about half an hour into the stream. The next one is just Alex's face, so that should be fairly quick and easy for me to finish. I hope. Let me pull up my reference real quick because again, I haven't drawn any of these people enough yet, and I'm getting there with Alec. I'm getting to the point where I feel a lot more comfortable freestyling his face, but I'm still like not 100% there yet. I still feel better when I have reference to look at. If my reference image will open, there we go. Okay. It's like I'm slowly getting more comfortable with Alec. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with Roxy too, but I'm probably going to be like at least halfway through this entire book before I feel like truly comfortable just drawing their faces off the top of my head. Okay, his nose is now like enormous compared to his eyes. What happened here? Okay, his face ended up like too big for his features. We're gonna have to just kind of fudge this a little bit, or rather I should say his features ended up too small for the skull that I drew, so we're gonna have to pull that in a little bit. It's okay, we can fix it. His mouth is like weirdly long. That's better. Gotta fix the rest of this situation now. Alright, so his neck now needs to be up here and his shoulder needs to be up here. His hand where he's holding his backpack strap. Okay, that's looking a lot better. That's now fixed. I drew his features too small and his head was too big, and so I had to pull everything in unless I wanted to redraw his face, which I didn't because I like the way that it came out. So just pull everything else in to correct that mistake. Hair in there. Smooth this up a little. Thanks, Higgins. Yeah, that was the thing, is that I had gotten the expression the way I wanted it, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just redraw literally everything else rather than try to get that right again. Rather than risk not getting that right again, I'm just gonna redraw literally everything else to make it work. Alright, there's the backpack strap. image of the hoodie and the collar of the t-shirt he's wearing underneath it. Yay, now that panel's done. Now we only have 2 left. See, that one didn't take too long. This one might take me a minute because it's an awkward pose. So we're gonna start building up this mannequin. Still don't feel like it's quite as off kilter as I would like. That knee like way hyperextended in the wrong direction. Let's see if that helps. Ugh, I still don't like it. I still don't like how this is turning out. I'm still not doing what I want it to. So we're gonna erase the whole thing. As much as that breaks my heart. But if it's not working, then there's no reason to continue pursuing it. So frustrating when that happens. All right, erase. Let's see. Let's see. All right, I'm having a hard time with this, so I'm gonna look for reference that will maybe help me. Tripping and falling, because if you just put tripping into Google Images search, you get a bunch of like psychedelic artwork. All right, let's see what we have that's useful here. What do we have? What do we have? Okay, hey, that's pretty useful. That's pretty useful. That's pretty good. What's in related images? More the same. What is this? Okay, it's very easy to fall down a rabbit hole of Google is hilarious. But I think that's something that we can work with. The way that his weight is so far forward and his foot is back here and his arms are not positioned to catch himself. These are important things to note about this position. Okay, that's good, because that was stuff that I was having a hard time conceptualizing while trying to come up with this pose, which you can see I'm so used to drawing figures where their weight is balanced in order to make them look correct. It's very difficult to force myself to not do that when coming up with an image from my brain. So this is why sometimes you just really need to look up some reference. If I was not in the middle of a stream, I would probably take some reference shots of myself pretending to fall / actually falling, because I'm a disaster person and I would probably accidentally actually fall if I was trying to take pictures of myself pretending to fall. All right, so let's not make that head too big. Let's see if we can get a better gesture in here now that we've got an idea of what to work with for someone tripping. Oh my gosh, phone, stay away for more than 3 seconds, please. All right, we've got a lot of forward lean going on here. And I'll probably exaggerate this a little bit. I do want his one arm, I want a better silhouette than this, so I'm going to have one arm behind him. I'm going to have his foot kind of, he's tripping over nothing essentially, but all right. I think that now we might actually have a gesture we can work with. Much better. Much better. Now we've got a better gesture and we can build out this mannequin. See, it's important if something is not working to not be afraid to just start from scratch. If it's just plain not working, just start over. All right, tripping over nothing there. How did he trip? Ah ha 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 ha. You'll have to read the comic and find out. There is nothing there for him to trip over. He's tripping because reasons. All right, we're gonna get the basic drape of some clothing here. Okay. Now I'm going to start tightening this up. I probably won't quite finish before we reach the end of the hour. It's in the last 10-ish minutes. So while I am working on getting that polished up, I will do the YouTube things. I will remind you, I'm Amanda Call. I'm working on a page from I Am the First, which is written by my friend Jeremy Flagg and drawn by me. We funded this on Kickstarter a little while ago, and it was successful, so there's going to be a whole graphic novel, which I'm working on. The first chapter will be releasing sometime next month digitally, so you'll be able to get that from like Comixology and Drive Through Comics and all that sort of thing. So that'll be coming out sometime in February, because the first chapter has been done for a little while. This one will be coming out a couple months after that. Sounds good, Potato. I'll be ending in a little less than 10 minutes, but it was great to have you. Thank you so much. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, you should check that out. As it starts coming out, I'm sure I will be obnoxious and tell you guys all about where you can find it when it actually does release. I also am usually working on my webcomic Age of Night, which you can read at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. I'm trying to keep up with updates on that at the same time as working on this graphic novel project. So far it's working. So yeah. But that comic updates every Wednesday. You can read the whole thing online for free. But if you want to help support me, I also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/ageofnight, spelled the same way as the comic. And that Patreon gets you all of the pages a week early. You get to see things behind the scenes. You get free comics for signing up. Just all sorts of great stuff. And I super appreciate it because that, helps me make a living. I do these live streams every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you like this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss when I go live. I will eventually get back to doing pre-recorded and edited videos someday. Someday, I swear, it'll happen again. But I have a bunch of them on my channel that you can go back and watch too. Plus all of the old live streams if you just want to listen to me yammer while I draw for like hours and hours and hours. There's lots of them. You can also follow me on Twitter at Age of Night and Instagram at Amanda Call Art. I Am the First and Age of Night also both have Facebook pages if you want to check those out so that you can keep up with updates for the various projects if you do Facebook. Do I do any live stream videos? I do this live stream video that's happening right now. Sometimes I'm on the Chaotic Goodcast. I was last night. Sometimes Doug cons me into showing up on his channel. I'm just kidding. I'm there mostly voluntarily. I'm just kidding. Love you, Doug. Just kidding. This weird shape that sneakers have. All right. There's that. Bunch of scribbles going on over here. Yeah, I think that was all the things. I don't have a TikTok. Sorry. No TikTok. All right, so we didn't quite finish this panel, but we got it in a much better place than it was before. I'm feeling very good about this now. So I will probably finish drawing these last couple of panels off stream so that next week we can come on here and we can just start inking. So I started the stream. This panel wasn't quite done. These ones were not done at all. Now I've got 3 completed, 4th most of the way there. The 5th one I did not make any progress on tonight, unfortunately, but should have it done for next week. And then we can start inking this page. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Bye.